That's a perfect example. And the correct way to say that is, I speak English well.
Well. So what's the rule here, Jill? Why well and not good?
It's simple, once you know it. Good is an adjective. That means it describes a noun, a person, a place, or a thing. You can have a good day or see a good movie.
Okay, a good movie. I understand.
But well is an adverb. It describes a verb, an action. Since speak is an action, you need the adverb well to describe how you do it. You speak well. You play the piano well.
That's a very clear way to put it. So, she is a good cook describes the person, but she cooks well describes the action.
Exactly. You've got it. It's a small change that makes your English sound much more natural.
Okay, let's move to our next common mistake. This one is about nouns that you cannot count. We call them uncountable nouns.
Oh, this is a tricky area. Many languages don't have this concept.
That's right. So you might hear learners say something like, "Can you give me some advices?" Or, "I have a lot of homeworks to do."
I've heard that. The words advice and homework are uncountable. They do not have a plural form.
So how should we say it correctly?
You just remove the S. So, can you give me some advice? And I have a lot of homework to do. It's that simple.
What are some other common uncountable nouns?
Some big ones are information, furniture, luggage, and news. So you wouldn't say informations or furnitures.
Right. So if you want to talk about one specific thing, you can say a piece of. For example, a piece of advice or a piece of information.
That's a great tip, Jack. A piece of is very useful for these words. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about verbs, specifically that little S that we sometimes forget.
The third person singular S. This is a very, very common mistake for beginners.
Yes. An incorrect sentence would be, she like coffee, or he work at the hospital.
Right. In the present tense, when we talk about he, she, or it, we must add an S to the verb. So the correct sentences are, she likes coffee, and he works at the hospital.
It seems so small, but it's an important grammar rule. What about for I, you, we, and they?
For those, we don't add an S. So I like coffee, you like coffee, we like coffee, and they like coffee. Only for he, she, and it.
It's a rule you just have to memorize and practice. The more you speak, the more natural it becomes.
Absolutely. Practice is key. Now, what about something called a double negative?
This is an interesting one. A double negative is when you use two negative words in the same sentence. For example, someone might say, I don't know nothing.
In English grammar, two negatives make a positive. So, I don't know nothing actually means I know something. It can be very confusing.
Exactly. To say it correctly, you only need one negative word. You can say, I don't know anything, or you can say, I know nothing.
Both are correct. Let's try another one. An incorrect sentence is, she didn't tell me no secret.
The correct way would be, she didn't tell me any secret, or she told me no secret, just one negative word.
It's a good rule to remember. One negative per sentence is usually enough.
All right, Jack. This next one is a huge challenge for learners because many languages don't use them at all. I'm talking about articles, a, an, and the.
Oh, absolutely. The articles. It's very common to hear someone say, I see car on street.
Right. We need articles there. The correct sentence would be, I see a car on the street.
So, what is the simple rule for our listeners? When do we use a or an, and when do we use the?
Generally, we use a or an when we're talking about something for the first time, or something general. For example, I need to buy a phone. It could be any phone.
And we use the when we're talking about something specific, something the listener already knows about.
Exactly. Imagine this story. Yesterday, I saw a cat. The cat was black. The first time I mention the cat, I say a cat. The second time, you know which cat I'm talking about, so I say the cat.
That's a perfect example. It takes a lot of practice to master articles, so don't worry if you make mistakes. Just try to use them. So we have covered a lot of ground today. We talked about verb tenses, uncountable nouns, articles.
We did. And the most important message for all our listeners is that making these mistakes is a normal and necessary part of learning.
That's so true, Jill. The goal is not to be perfect immediately. The goal is to communicate. And every mistake is an opportunity to learn something new.
Don't be afraid to speak. Don't worry about sounding silly. The more you practice, the more confident you will become.
So, our advice for you this week is to pick one of the mistakes we talked about today, just one. Maybe it's good versus well, or maybe it's adding S to your verbs.
That's a great idea. Focus on that one thing for the whole week. Try to use it correctly in a few sentences every day. By the end of the week, it will feel much easier.
Learning is a marathon, not a sprint. Be patient and kind to yourself.
Well, that is all the time we have for today. We hope this episode was helpful for you.
Thank you so much for listening to Welcome English. We are always so happy to have you with us. My name is Jack.
And I'm Jill. Join us next time for another episode. Until then, keep practicing and have fun.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.